was a snippet from Strike the Musical about the Winnipeg strike in 1919, and you might not recognize who's with me here, but this is actually Danny Schur, the writer of the musical. It is you. That's a very cool outfit.
Thank you.
But what's really cool about this production this time around is what you see behind us, and that's the streetcar, which you've had built especially. That's a huge budget. You've gone to great lengths. Why did you decide to take this route?
Well, you know, it's the missing character in the musical. When we staged it on stages, we didn't have this, and this represents the major pictorial force of opposition to the strikers. On Bloody Saturday in June 19, there was a silent march coming north down Main, got right in front of City Hall, and then the worst timing ever, a streetcar comes right at them. They believe that streetcar was provocation by the federal minister of labor who wouldn't negotiate with him. They flipped out, flipped it over, set it on fire, and so began Bloody Saturday.
Okay, and I'm just thinking of that mural too that's downtown of the streetcar being flipped over.
And also the most famous picture in Winnipeg is the tip-over picture of Streetcar 596.
Wow. Now, the musical has been out for how many years now?
Oh gosh, it sort of started in 2004, officially 2005, and every year there's been some different iteration.
Right. I was just trying to think on the car ride here. You know, when did the musical come out? It's been a while, but
officially 2005.
It's really evolving. I mean, this is just the next step.
Part of my life since 2003.
Where's it going from here? I mean, you got the streetcar, so that's part of the summer productions for 2009.
Exactly. We're going to do, hopefully, an annual production in a theater. We're doing the off-Broadway size at the CanWest Performing Arts Center. We're hoping to do that forever. The real goal is that we can transfer into the Human Rights Museum when it opens in 2012, and somewhere in there, maybe even next summer, shoot the movie for which this is the first movie prop.
The first movie prop. Wow, exactly. So you got big plans.
Well, we need a few of these for the movie, as you can imagine. But that's kind of why we did it too. It wasn't just for this event in May 2009. It was to find out, what does it take to build a streetcar? Because nobody builds them anymore. Like all those compound curves and those carriage windows, this is all somewhat lost art stuff. So we studied the old one. There's only one existing streetcar in Winnipeg history. It's streetcar 356. It's in the Winnipeg Railway Museum. The designer, David Hewlett, measured everything. I wondered, what was he doing? But it was to get this kind of degree of historical accuracy.
You saw earlier on Shaw TV, Kim Babbage actually did a story. They're raising funds to actually restore the original 356. Exactly, yeah. So, but here's the designer.
The research was fun. Getting an actual piece from, looking at the original streetcar in the Railway Museum and getting a sense of its proportions. Yeah. And of course I date myself because I remember riding streetcars in Winnipeg originally.
I wasn't going to ask that, David.
No, I did. And they were wonderful. They were sort of creaky and cold and drafty, and they shook all over the place, but as a young boy they were absolutely magic. And so there was a little bit of memory that went into this.
I had a bit of an opportunity. I visited the Rail Museum, and the streetcar, unfortunately, I think was used as a chicken coop or something along those lines.
Yeah.
It's not in great shape, but hopefully it'll come back to life. But this is the next best thing, isn't it?
This is the next best thing, and hopefully it'll be a springboard for that particular project and also the resurgence of transportation in Winnipeg. Love to get some of these back on the street and working again. It would be a novelty. I see tourism possibilities right here, you know.
Yeah, it's going to sit all over the place. I know Danny has plans for that. You can come and check it out, get on board. It doesn't have the locomotion. It's what, an ATV?
It's got an ATV on that. We're talking about you know, having solar panels on the roof and putting an electric motor inside. See what happens.
Ring of the world, Winnipeg's giddy, 1919.
I think the musical's going to have a long life, and I think this is going to help it have a long life because it's just so cool all by itself, you know?
It's a character unto itself, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
And there's lots of information you can find on the web about the streetcar and its history. Where would that be?
Well, there's two places. On my website, which is strikemusical.com, there's the design picture that David did, and then there's a link to winnipegstreetcar.com. That's a site by a good friend of mine, Stephen Stuthers, and it's got fantastic stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
So lots to learn, it's exciting history. So check it out, Strike the Musical on every year from now on with a great new character, the streetcar. For Shaw TV, I'm Jeremy Valens.
Scott is talking about traffic downtown. There you go. Welcome to the show, guys. We have got Marianne Sorelli with us with the Mayworks Festival. Nice to have you.
Good morning.
And we have composer of Strike, Winnipeg Shocks the Nation, Danny Schur, in his period clothing, I noticed.
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you as well. Thanks for coming down.
Absolutely.
We're going to find out about what's happening with a variation of the musical. But first, let's talk about Mayworks. What is Mayworks all about?
Well, Mayworks is a special celebration this year because it's the 90th anniversary of the Winnipeg General Strike.
That's
from
right,
1919. Yeah. The theme is Rise as One, so it's a celebration of arts and political history. So there's music, there's theater, there's panels, there's an activist exchange, there's all sorts
a ton of stuff in here.
Yeah.
My goodness, and our city is rich with both.
Yes.
I mean, musical and
political history.
Political history, huge. What can people expect from this year, like as far as the events itself?
Well, there's some top-notch performances. One is Winnipeg's own mandolin orchestra, which is playing on May the 9th. Mm-hmm. We also have some international acts. Folk artists Joe Jenks and Annie Feeney are going to be playing. There's the General Strike bus tour, which you're going to be talking about.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday as well, yeah.
That's what a great thing to do on Mother's Day.
It's about 3 hours long, right? That's right. Find out how it all happened and where it all happened.
So that's an exciting thing, to be able to have the theater and the music and the performances and even a lot of the speaking and the panel discussions in the sites where the action really happened 90 years ago.
And it really did a lot to turn the tables for the human rights for the workers. I mean,
it certainly did. And not just locally, across the country.
Absolutely. And a little bit of shameless promotion here. You are getting a very prestigious award. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, I'm honored to be receiving the Bruce Mackay Award from the Winnipeg Labour Council. It's a community award that recognizes people who are working on behalf of human rights and equity. I'm doing a lot of anti-poverty work and work on housing. Mm-hmm. And we're working for a living wage in Winnipeg. And back at that time, some of the banners that you would see in the play that Danny's going to be putting on in the musical have the same slogan, working for a living wage.
Unbelievable. Well, it's a wonderful way to celebrate the workers, of course, and the struggles and strife through art. You have a wonderful musical, we all know Strike, but this is kind of a variation. What's happening, Danny?
It's the abridged outdoor version. May 23rd, not the long weekend, but the Saturday after. The audience will be able to sit on the closed down Main Street. You can sit on Main Street, you can sit in the City Hall courtyard on William, and we're going to play a short form, approximately 1 hour version of the musical, but it's a musical reenactment of the General Strike. So there's going to be charging horses, a cast of like 100, literally,
wow,
antique cars, and get this, we're building a full-size 41-foot streetcar replica, moving, that is, for all intents and purposes, identical to the one in the famous picture.
That famous picture, the iconic streetcar, of course. And this is all happening right on the site, is it not?
Exactly where it happened. The idea is that a contemporary audience can come down there and get the chills that you would have on June 21st, 1919.
All right. We have a bit of a clip we're going to take a look at of the musical itself. We can take a roll on that.
We make our stand.
Strike while the irons are against what we haven't got. Strike while the irons hard to get what we haven't got to take. Back the things they took and make right the wrongs and look right into their eyes until they wink, realizing that we won't give up the fight. No, so muster up your might and strike.
Very proud as Winnipegger to be having that done right here, right in our city, and created right here in our city. Great job. Where can people pick up the brochure?
They can pick up brochures on lots of different locations, coffee shops, cinema venues. Mondragon Bookstore is going to be hosting a lot of events. So
Pick one up.
Park Theater, yes.
Park Theater as well. Pick one up and find out where you want to go. Do it all, as a matter of fact. And you're going to come back and perform a number from the musical, correct?
God help us.
All right, we'll chat about the film, big exciting news, and other performances here down at the Fort. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Click on City TV.
All right, go Moose go, something to be proud of. And something else to be really proud of is this musical that was written right here in Winnipeg by composer Danny Schur, and he's going to right now perform for us. This is the opening number in the musical. It's called Winnipeg's Giddy. It's the opening number. Sit back and enjoy. Well done, Danny. Well done. Thank you very much for that. Don't want to wreck the fingers. Don't want to wreck the fingers. You know, it's such a cheerful number to open it up
It is,
for
yeah.
such a serious situation. Now, what was it like trying to put music to such a serious situation?
Well, you know, people had hope. That's the thing you always got to remember. And even though the times are really tough, if you listen to the music of the era, which is this kind of ragtime, almost jazzy, it's a really boppy, happy musical thing. So the musical has some really heavy stuff, and yet there's a major theme of hope through it. And you got to open with a happy song.
A happy song, that's right. And not only are you doing the event on Main Street, but you said you're going to be bringing it around to our neck of the woods down here.
You betcha. A stone's throw away from here. You could like do a show and go over. July 30th to August 5th, right here at Canvas Performing Arts Center at the Forks. We're mounting the first annual production of the full show. May 23rd is the abridged outdoor version. Right. And then later in the summer, it's the full meal deal. Hopefully every summer, and then we'll transfer into the Human Rights Museum over here in 2012.
Well, fantastic. What a super success story. I know it didn't happen overnight. And you were saying off camera, there's talks in the works for a film version.
You betcha. We've been working really hard at the film version for over a year now. We've got a really good script adapted by my good buddy and co-writer Rick Chafe, fellow Winnipegger. We've sent it everywhere. I mean, Lindsay Lohan's reading it, Anne Hathaway's read it, Natalie Portman. Everybody said, you're going to get this thing made, and we might be shooting as soon as 2010. And man, there's lots of locations just right over here. The Railway Museum, it's all here.
Well, this is where it happened. It shouldn't be filmed anywhere else.
And also, all those historic locations are still intact the way they were. That's gold for a movie. You know?
Well, listen, this Lindsay Lohan's reading it. Read the copy in the middle. You know, the blurred vision. Anyway, thanks so much for coming down. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. And we have some tickets to give away. We have 10 pair of tickets for various events happening at Mayworks. Please, all you got to do is go to win.winnipeg@citytv.com. Now, these are 10 pair of tickets, like I said, and it's for a variety of different activities happening with Mayworks. That's going to be a great, great time. Thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you.
I love the outfit. I want to get that. Taking a break. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go away.